Patti Larsen is a U.S. Today best-selling international multiple award-winning writer of over 200 titles. She lives in beautiful Prince Edward Island, Canada, with her plethora of pets. And now, please welcome Patti.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to take a second of my 8 minutes to say, holy, how fun. You guys are amazing. And I'm feeling very, very, following because that was awesome. So I'm going to read a little bit from Skyline. I write across a number of genres. This is one of my dystopian series. So Orly Bay has just caught her best friend, Laith Rasher, breaking the rules by investigating an area of the city that's been recently damaged by the mysterious rebels. Whatever it is you think you'll find on the other side of the boundary, I say, it can't be worth being sent to maintenance for the rest of your life, a fate worse than death, as far as I'm concerned. Laith flashes me a tight grin as though he's made some kind of decision, and I helped him arrive at it. We'll see, he says before stepping away from me, hand fishing out a rebreather from his back pocket, the cylinder blocking his mouth as he turns and touches the panel's edge with agile fingers. He enters a line of text that has me gaping. Where did he get an exit code? And then he steps back. The panel hums once before shuddering aside, the cold darkness beyond beckoning him, apparently, because he immediately enters. I need to go home, report him. I have to leave him to his own fate. But he's my friend, and with a groan of despair, I'm going to live to regret my terrible decision. I follow, my rebreather fished out of my bag, while I lurch for the slowly closing panel, rushing through to the other side. I make it, one hand rising to steady myself against Laith's back. He doesn't even twitch at my touch, the tight space between sections barely big enough for both of us. The chill cuts through my light jacket and coveralls, my face and hands suddenly tight with it, and I flash back to my first grade training. The cold I feel now is nothing compared to what's out there past the boundary. It's not until I feel a tug on my arm I realize I might have cleared the panel, but my backpack wasn't so lucky. I'm forced to let it drop, the strap hooked in the glass. I try to tell Laith to wait to help me free my bag. Nothing will look more suspicious than my satchel hanging in midair. But he's already finishing his typing, the next panel sliding open, and he's striding out into the bitter cold while I hesitate and finally follow. I have a clean record and a plan for the future. So I need things to stay that way. If we get caught, I'm going to kill him. I have to slow my breathing, the oxygen recycler already straining to support my panicked intake as the rebreather filters chug through a cartridge far too quickly. I only have 5 filters before I need to return inside, and I have a feeling Laith is going to be taking his sweet time. It's not like I expected to be out here or anything. The rebreather is meant for emergencies, for breaches in the city's walls, not for breaking the rules. I hover with my back pressed to the closed outer panel, gaze sweeping the residential street, though nothing about it is as it should be. One valiant light flickers in the distance, the rest shattered and dark, no taste making it through the breather's filters, even if the constructs continue to pump their artificial scent and flavor into the air. Intense discomfort averts my eyes from the withered remains of the trees lining the street. Laith circles them and carries on, as though he crosses the boundary every day. I take a bit more time to slow my breaths and then follow. I make the mistake of glancing at the line of buildings ahead. My gaze travels up along the rooftops to the sky that's not a sky I'm familiar with. Up and up, despite my best intentions, the falling darkness on the other side triggering panic all over again. Stars, an endless carpet of them stretching out into nothingness through the shattered rooftop panels, the curving, clouded planet 40,000 feet below, just visible as the blazing sun, the real one, sets over the corner of shattered glass and sends my senses reeling. Both hands cover my eyes, my rebreather's second filter sliding into place while I force myself into calm. When I look again, I keep my gaze firmly on the ground in front of me and allow myself to sink into the icy cold as a distraction. When I follow Laith at last, it's on shaking legs, so I'm fortunate he hasn't gone too far. He looks up from something he's crouching over when I join him, his grim expression almost triumphant. I want to ask him what he's discovered, but his gray eyes are distant, and his rebreather masks his mouth, making communication impossible. He turns me around with both hands, my body twitching in response to his touch, and I allow him to push me gently back the way we've come. When he pauses and looks up, I grasp his hand and hold it tightly, fear returning. Lathe slides one arm around my shoulder, staring up into the expanse of stars beyond the city. His courage returns mine enough that I risk another peek. The sun blazes in the distance, so tiny and fragile in the vastness of space. I lean into Lathe, fighting off the terror that this fragility instills. The ruined planet below glows with golden haze, the surface masked, but I don't need to see it to know that nothing can exist down there anymore. Skyline's massive, sheltered tower, while an artificial recreation of what we used to have, reaches above that mist, protecting the last of humanity from disaster and extinction, thanks to the corporation that saved us. And that's it.